Howdy, howdy, howdy. And so today I'm doing a Cobb access port tune 22 WRX. Um, the Cobb software is so freaking miserable. It's so bad. And I'm on the shitty computer today, unfortunately. But this one doesn't usually cause the Wi-Fi, or the Wi-Fi on this one doesn't cause the dyno to disconnect, typically. So we'll see. But I want to start off by explaining to you how I screwed up yesterday. Let me get logged into my account here. I was tuning that 05 STI, and I thought that everything was going really well, and I was a little confused about some things that I was seeing. And in the stream, if you saw it, you watched me go, "Oh wow, it doesn't want to take any more timing up here." It's a surprise. I thought it would take more timing, and the fuel was like perfect somehow, and yeah. So, anyways, I pulled up the dyno sheet after I had stopped the tune, had my lunch, came back out, wanted to finish a couple little things, and I saw this. Let me show you. I pulled up some parameters on the tune, and one of them being boost. Now you look at that boost, starts here at the pole like I expected, hits the peak, and then keeps going up. But on my log, it was flat. Rookie freaking mistake. I didn't realize that I had exceeded the map sensor on that car. What a rookie mistake. Yeah. Now, timing was fine, fuel was fine, everything was fine, except that from where the map sensor stops reading to where it keeps going, the only thing I have is closed loop fuel to protect me. I don't have a reduction in timing with more pressure. I don't have anything else going on. So, totally screwed that up. And, but yeah, you can see here on the graph, this is boost right here. And you see it just keeps going up. And remember when I said, oh, the wastegate, it's having to go from 20 to 40 to maintain boost pressure. I must be reaching the end of the turbo. Well, that wasn't the case. The case was I had the boost target 0.1 psi above the limit of the map sensor. Now, it's never a good idea to have it that close. And what happened was I got the car confused. I thought this car had a 4-bar map sensor on it. And, yeah, so I screwed that up. The other car had a factory map sensor on it. And I went through and showed you guys what I did to the overboost and how to get that dialed in. But this one, I thought had a 4-bar on it, and it didn't. Didn't have a 4-bar. So I had exceeded all of that, the capability of the factory map sensor. So, Jesus Christ, come on, sign me in already. Oh my Lord, this program is just one thing after another. Great, can I please continue now? Whew. Anyway, so what I do, I turn the boost down. That's what I did. I turned the boost down on the car, brought it down to 22 until the owner could tell me if he wants a map sensor. Chase talked to the owner, said let's put a map sensor in. Let's put a map sensor in it. And I'm going to put on the dyno again. We're going to raise the fuel pressure on it, see if we can keep the 340s providing enough fuel. Hopefully the two 340s can. And then we'll raise fuel pressure until they can't do it anymore. And we'll push it until we can't push it anymore. So they will go on the dyno again. I'm not sure when that's going to be. It'll have to be probably sometime in the next week or so. My wife's having surgery, so I got to take care of her next week and some other stuff. So we'll see. We'll see when it happens. We'll see when the sensor gets here. We'll see when all that stuff can happen. I don't know when it is, but I will stream it and I will talk again about how I was a dummy and made a mistake. I also had this other one here, this other curve up here, and this one is power and torque. And this is the 2.3 with the G30 770, and this is a 2.5 liter with a G30 660. Now, unfortunately, the run starts at 35 for both of them, and they're both at a decent amount of boost at the time, but you can see that the 2.3 had no issue spooling that 770, and with they were both around the same boost level. Unfortunately, the boost didn't log on this one. One was it was within 2 pounds, but within 2 pounds of boost, you see the 2.3 is actually making more torque than it was. 2.3 is on ethanol, though. To be fair, it is on ethanol. But a lot of people, when I first created the 2.3 and started selling them back in 06, 07, there were a lot of haters. A lot of people said, oh, it's not going to work. Oh, it's stupid. Oh, why would you do that? Or why wouldn't you want more displacement? Because everyone's always about, oh, it's got to be a bigger engine and more displacement and stroke this and blah, blah, blah. And totally ignoring that the EJ has absolute ass crack geometry. So, anyways, I pushed them for a long time. Had a handful of guys that would buy them, but it just wasn't a big seller. It wasn't a big seller until Travis Pastrana's, Huckster came out with the 2.3, and everyone started jizzing all over it, and now everyone wants 2.3. But I've been telling you guys since 2007 that the 2.3s are awesome, and that was, that was a lot of years ago. Fuck, 17 years ago, man. But now all of a sudden they're starting to sell again, which is good. I like them. They're a fun motor. They sound great. They do well. Do they make as much torque as a 2.5? Not always. Sometimes they do, but they sure feel nicer. That's for sure. They feel nicer. They last longer. They rev smoother. They have flatter torque curves. They're just way more fun, and it's just a better way to go for sure. I really love the 2.3, and obviously I had no problem spooling the turbo. I mean, the one yesterday was a 2.3, and you can see that sucker spools up quite nice. I mean, the torque on that, we're looking at 350 pounds of torque at 3,500 RPM. That's not a VF. That's a 770 horsepower turbo, right? That's on a car that makes 550 wheel, or 535 right now, wheel, practically from 5,500 to 8,000, almost a flat line up there. So, and it would be more if the cams were bigger on it. Like, it would make significantly more. I've had the 2.3s with bigger cams. They do a lot better. These cams are a smidge on the small side for them. But it's, it's a great engine, and it just never got any love. But you can see here that 2.5 with that 660 isn't making. I mean, granted, like I said, it's not a fair comparison because one's higher boost than the other. But I just wanted you to see that the torque threshold was still really good on both of them. And eventually I'll get that other one fully broke in and do a full tune on it. But it's not necessarily a better setup, that's for sure. You're going to really dig it. The 2.3 is really awesome. So anyways, enough of that gabbing. So today I got the ass laptop, and I'm going to try and do this Cobb software, but the software is just a struggle all the time. I've been fighting it all morning, trying to get the update. I haven't opened this laptop in forever. The software was out of date, and instead of Cobb saying, "Oh, this software is out of date. Here's the download link," they just said, "This software is no longer supported." Gives you the middle finger and then tells you to do nothing. Just tells you to download the new shit. Like, why not give me the link? So then instead I have to go to Cobb's website, and I got to log in, which I haven't done in forever anyways, and I clear my browsing cache since then. So then I got to re-put all the password shit in. I got to struggle through their website to find where the hell it's at, because it's in some convoluted place every time, and I hate it. And it's just misery. Dealing with Cobb software is absolute fucking misery. Yeah. Especially on Windows 11, which this laptop is. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a great time. Yeah, I fucking hate this software so much. All right, so I am loading up the Cobb software right now for 2022, which is what this thing is. I think I have a tune in here already for one that did pretty good. Didn't have an ETS intake on it though. This has an ETS intake, so I definitely have to do a lot to get this thing ready to put on the car. Yeah. Oh, this is a 23. Uh-oh. My software only said 22. This is a brand new update. Oh, there it goes. That was weird. Let's try this again. Okay, so here we are. How is everybody doing today? Let me know how you're doing. I want to hear it. I want to see what's going on with everybody. What block turbo was on the IAG 750 yesterday? I think it was a 1.5. I'm pretty sure it was a Dom 1.5. Other slippy one to get tuned on Cobb. Yeah, I mean Cobb's the only option for WRX right now. Like, and it's the only thing I will use for the factory ECU, because it's still the most complete of all of them out there, and it has protection for tuners as far as not getting your maps copied and the ECU flash failing. They can recover the ECU where open source stuff can't. So overall, like, it is the most feature rich and complete option that there is. It just fucking sucks to deal with. Like, it's bad. So it should not be surprising at all. Like, there isn't a better option. So why would it be surprising that the best option out there is what people want to use? It just sucks to be a tuner having to deal with their stupid software requirements, the this is no longer supported shit, that you got to update or you can't use it, the lack of giving you links and quick ways to download stuff, the way they the way it crashes all the time, like it tells me something's on the export and it isn't. Like, there's just so much that sucks with dealing with it. The website, the Cobb website sucks. I have never seen a worse website than the Cobb website. Hello, Dominic speaking. Okay, no talkie talkie. Hello. All right. Nobody wanted to use words. So, yeah, it's the best system. It just is absolute shit to deal with. Wow, there's a lot of changes from 22 to 23. Interesting. Chases is a 23. Um, and I tuned a 22 a little while ago. The 22 had the most mods on it, and it did really good. It was a good one for sure. Launch control, huh? So Subaru has launch control on here now. Okay, I like it. All right, so I don't know is this intake. I don't know the calibration for this intake. I have no idea where it is. I don't know where ETS set it. So that's gonna be the most fun part today. Is getting this map calibrated. So I'm gonna set a base map and then we'll watch some stuff happen. How do I call it? Yeah, we'll do. Uh, yeah, has a top mount, has a charge pipe, it has an ETS intake, and I think that's it. I think it's a Cobb top mount actually. I don't know why. I don't know why. I like the factory top mount on these things, but you know, but people get bamboozled by the shiny blinginess. The factory Subaru intercoolers are really damn good, and in my opinion, if you've got a stock turbo, there's nothing better than one of the STI intercoolers or the new WRX intercooler. I just don't see anything that does what these do. Um, so I totally dig them, and factory ones. And I don't think that enough people know that they're good. So all right, so I'm gonna flash this base map, and we're gonna start the car. The car's cold, so we're gonna see how that goes. Just, see home button. Could use Cobb map data as a jump off point, or did they make one for this car? Oh, it's never really a good idea to do that. I mean, it's the Cobb data could be just as far off as the stock data. Like you have no idea. There's not you don't know if there's a similarity there or not. So um, yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea or not. Just don't know. Don't know where it's at. So doesn't the ETS has got a weird thing. In fact, if you saw the stream yesterday, you saw the ETS intake in my hand, and it's not pretty. And they did some weird shit with it for sure. Um, and then the Cobb one's totally different. I mean, it's a MAF in a tube with some sort of stack, but the ETS stack is not a elliptical or even a smooth radius velocity stack. It's got hard edges on it, um, which can be beneficial technically. I probably shouldn't dog on that much because I don't know what they were dealing with, but a hard edge can technically make the tube seem longer. Um, so maybe they were trying to create a separated bubble further out in the intake stream so that the air had more time to straighten out before it got to the MAF sensor. Maybe, I'd have to see some airflow or sim data to support that. Looking at it, it just looks like it was done poorly and lazily because it's cheaper to just do straight lines. But could it be for something like that? I suppose it could be. So I probably shouldn't totally shit on it. I was complaining to myself this morning about how somebody I did my cam modification for went online and was like, should I run these cams? They look totally ruined. And they were exactly as they were supposed to be. What the modification was done to make them last longer. And everyone was like, oh, I wouldn't do that. Those look terrible. Oh, that's a blah, blah. A bunch of fucking morons. They have no idea what they're talking about. So we're talking trash about it because they didn't like the way it looked. They didn't know what was going on. So technically, I'm doing that, I guess, with the ETS intake, saying that I don't like it because of the way it looks. But they could have been dealing with something else. They could have been dealing with, like I said, getting the airflow to stabilize before, not trying to get a laminar flow into the tube this way, but actually push where that becomes laminar out the tube further. And hard edges can do that technically. Now that the size of that bubble changes with velocity and air density. So could they be targeting a certain area? Maybe. Would that nature change with velocity? Absolutely. And what do they have in their design constraints for it? I don't know because I wasn't part of it. But for not being involved in the R&D on it, it looks like butt. It looks like butt for sure. Let's see. Yeah, dude, you should have been here when the stream started. I'll tell you what I messed up. When the stream started, I talked about the car I tuned yesterday. I got it off the dyno, and I looked at the dyno graphs, and I pulled up the boost, and the boost was going up to 27. And on my logs, it was flat, and that was when I realized that the car did not have a 4-bar map sensor like I thought it did. I had confused it with another car that I was doing with a Link and a Q3 and the same turbo and all that, and thought that had a 4-bar map sensor. So what I had done is maxed out the map sensor, not realized it. And if you recall yesterday, I was saying, oh, the duty cycle is 20 at this point and 40 at this point. It looks like I'm getting near the end of the turbo. I'm having to put a lot of duty cycle in it to get it to hold boost. Well, what happened was I had the boost target set 0.1 psi above the limit of the stock map sensor. And so it was slowly trying to raise the boost to that target. And it was at an integral slowly, and so it just kept rising up. So it was going from 22 to 27 psi by redline. Luckily, timing was totally good. But remember, during the stream, I said, wow, I'm surprised it doesn't want more timing up here. Well, it didn't want more timing up there because it was at 27 pounds of boost, not 22 like I thought. But fuel was right on, and everything was good. So it isn't like I did anything damaging to the car. However, if the owner had taken it on a track day, and loaded up in 6th gear and the boost hit 30, well, then we'd have a freaking problem. So, yeah, total rookie mistake on that. Luckily, I caught it, and then I turned the boost down immediately. Had Chase contact the owner, get permission to put a map sensor in it. So we're going to put a map sensor in it. We're going to crank the fuel pressure up. I know now, though, that the fuel system can handle 27 psi, right? Because we were running out of fuel up there, and I thought it was weird running out at 22 as well, because usually I run those in the higher 20s before I run out. So I was, a few things were kind of like, am I moving that much more air with the 2.3? I don't think so, because this doesn't have really big cams. It's got cams, but not as big as I would prefer for this setup, but it's still decent, there was just things that were making me question, what was going on. And so I was looking over the data on the dyno, and sure enough, 27 pounds. And I was like, oh, well, there it is. There's that thing that answers all those questions. Here, I'll show you on this graph. All the stuff that I was trying to figure out, all those questions that were in my head. Bing, there it is. Boost comes in, and it's 22 here-ish, and just keeps climbing to 27. Fuck, that might be 28. Something like that. Somewhere in there. So that was that wastegate duty cycle climbing up. Which, also, if you recall, I said, man, I'm at the end of the tune, or at the end of the turbo, but these usually make a few more horsepower than this. Granted, this car has gigantic wheels and tires on it. James's car has big-ass wheels and tires. So that's a lot of inertia, and that sucks power off the dyno immediately. He's probably got 40 wheel horsepower and wheels and tires on that thing, because they're so big. You put stocks on it. Put stocks on that thing, like, because he's an 05, you put like GD stocks on that thing, and it would hit 600 wheel, like it sits. No doubt in my mind at all. So, anyways, so now I know that the fuel system can handle the higher boost. I know why it didn't want the timing it wanted. I'm surprised that the fueling was as good as it was. I honestly figured that it would have been leaner up there. I mean, it potentially could have been richer. I should, specify it. It is a VE table on there, and if you increase density, that's great. But if you lower VE with higher boost, then at some point it's a sliding scale. And in this case, we increased air density on the engine, but we also lowered VE by having higher exhaust pressure. So that exhaust that's retaining the cylinders displaces some of your fresh charge. So I think what was happening is that the VE was dropping because of the higher exhaust pressure, and um, and the air density was going up. So it just matched what it would have been at 22 pounds because, like I said, the fuel was within like 2% during the pulls. So yeah. So anyways, we're gonna put a bigger map sensor on it, crank the injector pressure up a little bit more, and then hit her hard again and see if we can make more power out of it. Since we know now what was actually going on. All right, that's more than 15 seconds on this thing. So I'm going to depress brake and clutch. Fuck you. I'm going to do one of those. That took a while to start. All right, I'm going to let this thing warm up. I'm going to take a leak real quick. I'm going to do that. And then I had 2 bottles of water and a coffee this morning. So I'm going to take a leak. And then I will be back. All right. This car has 9,800 miles on it. 9,900, 9892 it says. So she's fresh. Doesn't smell that fresh though. Like something barfed in it. Maybe that's the new Subaru car smell. Subarus do kind of smell funny nowadays. The way they treat the fabric, they use some weird stuff with the fabric and the plastic, and they just make it smell kind of funny. All right, let's talk to this ECU. Let's see what we got going on. Attempting to connect the ECU. Okay. Oh my God, why do you do this? Screw you, software. All right, what do we got? Come on. Oh my Lord. I should just bring up the freaking software anyways and show you guys so you can see how terrible it is. Trims total, ratio, exhaust, intake. I mean, this is a new version. Maybe it's better, right? Like, it could be a new one. The older version sucked. Maybe this one's good. They've changed the logging stuff. Yeah, that my vision's just really bad. And I have a hard time seeing the screen right now. Weird. My Honda Talon. I think I told you guys about that yesterday. My turbo kit. It's a good time. It's a good time. I'm still putting an M-Tron in it, but it's a good time. Oh yeah, I forgot these newer ones. They went with mass airflow frequency instead of voltage like the previous cars. It's always a trip. And electronic wastegates. I'm excited about that. I do like the electronic wastegates. Let's see. Right now, my air fuel correction is -10, so my calibration is not correct. Whether that's due to a VE table. Unfortunately, with these cars, you have that VE table. Or whether it's because of the MAF cal, we may never know. Um, I think ideally you would you take the VE table, make it 100 everywhere, and then do your math and then alter the VE table. But it's not right, so I probably won't do the right way of doing it. Okay. Let's see if I get my logger to show up for you guys on the screen here, so you can see the logger at least. There are lots of Cobb tuners out there. If your stuff is still good, you're good. IHE has new houses for EJ that retain the motors and flow better. Yep. Okay, let's see. Get the Cobb. Cobb logger. Here we go. Oh, wait, that's the logger. I want the Cobb. I want the dash. This one? There it is. Let's bring this up. There we go. There we go. Okay. Oh, I don't know this guy's name. I get that first. I also realize I'm not wearing my mic. Luckily, it's quiet enough in here that you can hear me all right. Travis does things. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you do things, Travis. This one right here. Pretty good. Get this guy's name. Hey, what's this guy's name? The 20-something WRX, the black one. All right. Say what?
Anton said he's watching your stream right now. Hi, Anton.
Hello, Anton.
Also, he said, what would be better, 64 or 69?
I haven't tuned to both. I wouldn't know.
It's like 82, 64, or 82, 69.
Is the last number the compressor or the turbine?
I would assume it's the compressor.
Usually it's the turbine, though, right? It's back and forth on turbine manufacturers all the time, so it's hard to say, right? Like a GTX 3582, right? It's turbine then compressor. Then there's other guys that do, like Precision does compressor then turbine, right? Don't they do it the other way? So.
And then Pulsar does it by turbine size, compressor size. Even though it's still a G3660, they don't list it as a G3660.
Yeah, it's a 5549 or whatever it's called, yeah. Or that's the 25550. Yeah.
55, 52, 55.
Something like that.
And 62, 55. I think it's a 616.
Okay. That's huge. Of what? Which one?
Or if he wants a turbo on that better. Yeah. And that's like we're making an order right now. And they just get
Nice. That's nice when customers are ready to do what they want to do.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe you can talk to him on the street.
Yeah. I mean, he can hear me probably. Goal says 22. This one's a 23. I think I put 22 in the name because I didn't realize it was 23 until I plugged in the access port. No, I don't have any big goals. Just make it run right. That's just what I do, you know. Try and make it run right. I don't know anything about those turbos, Anton. I can't tell you. No idea what they're capable of. I have no idea how fast they spool. I don't know anything about them. I've tuned that one, and it was the tiny one. It was pretty impressive, but it was tiny. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. Sorry. All right. So I'm gonna do a sweep with just some load on the car. Not gonna graph this. It's just put load on it, and so I can look at what the MAF scale is doing with a little bit of load in RPM. That might be too much load. I'm gonna log this. Log in. Now I can watch the correction on that MAF as I sweep through. Just nice and slow here. A little more throttle, a little more throttle. Up to 6,000. Stop this. See where we're at. So I've got a pretty much cumulative correction of 11s down low at idle. I've got 11, 10, 9, 8, 9. So 8 up to where? We're looking at 50, so from 50 and under, I need to pull basically 10% out. 50 and under. And we'll move up. Looks like 8%, 7% coming up. So that red line, it gets close to, say red line of the car, but the airflow being, where was the airflow? 140s. So 140s, we're getting close. So 140s, we're getting close here. Now, unfortunately, this is one of those cars where you don't get real-time tuning. No real-time tuning. So it's all reflash based. That's really a bummer. Okay. Up to 12. Well, that ain't good. So change that. Let's make this. That was not what I wanted to do. I'm going to do that. We'll do this. Okay. Now you pull some out here. So at 50, we're definitely coming down. Like I said, it was around 11 or so. So I'm going to just do a multiplier on it and do, I'm going to pull 5% out of that. Just to do that. And then this guy, 40 here. Ooh. Mm. Okay, so this is my new math scale based on that. Just trying to get close. Fortunately, I have to turn the car off and reflash and do all that stuff again. Okay, three flashes. Big one doesn't super like bigger exhaust. No, not necessarily. No. So that's what you're talking about is the exhaust. Yeah, I would say not necessarily. Um, I know my side by side likes bigger exhaust. That's a fucking fiasco. Um, so basically, you have a couple options, right? The larger exhaust wheel has a slower speed; it rotates slower, so that's going to slow the compressor down. Going too big on the exhaust side could slow the compressor down too much and require too much differential pressure to get the speed up high enough to push the airflow you want. So no, I wouldn't run a bigger exhaust on that one. You do have lower back pressure, but it's more difficult to attain that higher speed. In the case of my side by side, my Honda Talon, I'm shooting for that. I need to slow down the compressor on it. With those club turbos that Garrett has, they just don't. They're the internal wastegate is way too small, and the balance is just off for this engine. Um, so on that one, I'm popping the compressor off of the 300 and putting the 250 compressor on it, right? And the 250 compressor is a higher speed compressor, right? That wheel is smaller in diameter, has to turn at a higher speed, and by creating that mismatch, um, I'm going to slow down the response of the turbo. Turn the key off, because now the turbine has to accelerate to a higher speed for the same airflow that from the compressor. So I don't think that's what you're going to want, but I don't know. I'd say with the 2.3 and my cams, I don't think that you're going to need a much bigger compressor, really. Um, at least not outside the realm of what we can do with the housing itself by changing the volume of the housing. Um, but you're going to want to spin that compressor wheel up to push the air. So the bigger one has more torque at the tips of the blade, so you can create more shaft torque. But we're not turning a big wheel. We're turning, well, it's a smaller wheel, right, comparatively to what it can do. So I don't know. I haven't seen that turbo. I don't know what it needs. I don't know where that balance is at on that thing. I don't know if the way the compressor is shaped, it needs more torque versus it just needs the higher RPM, and that's going to kind of dictate it, right? The smaller exhaust wheel is going to be a higher RPM, but less shaft torque. So I don't know, but I don't know what the compressor needs. I just don't know about that turbo. And so I can't give you sound advice on it because I just don't know. Is that just because it's a fresh start? Is that why it's doing it? I just reflashed it. Must be. I thought they got rid of it on the FAs though. Must be with the new 24 again. So yeah, I just don't know the answer. I'm sorry. All right, let's go back to online here and bring up my dashboard, and we'll see how far off my math scale is now. If I went too far or not. See if that popped up for you. It did. All right. So okay, so now instead of pulling %, it's adding 2. That's not bad. I prefer that they pull fuel. I always prefer my MAF is on the rich side. I always prefer my VE tables are on the rich side. I rather than be pulling fuel when they're closed loop, rather than running lean when they're open loop. So that's my opinion on that. Where this 35% load from the dyno is really a lot of load. Okay, so I'm lean right here. Just needs a little bit of fuel right there. A little bit of MAF scale. This region here is just what? 60 grams? Okay, so now I went a little too far. So on the top end, I flip-flopped. As you can see on the top end, I flip-flopped from 7 too much, now 7 not enough, which is weird because I didn't pull 14 out of it. So that must be a factor of what the V table is affecting the MAF reading. How the V table is affecting the MAF reading, because it's not. Stop. Make sure the VCS is fully functional. Then I'm going to start a log, and then I'm going to do another sweep again and see how close our MAF is. Unfortunately, like I said, this has the VE table and the MAF cal, and the VE table is just a percentage of the MAF. It's really weird, honestly. I don't totally understand it, why that was needed, because if you're calculating the airflow, you're calculating the airflow. And most of the table is small numbers, small changes from the full MAF value. But some spots are big changes, and that's really odd to me. Like, is the mass airflow sensor measuring all the air or not? Or is it just because overlap flow? And I guess that's probably what it is. It's probably overlap flow. When you have overlap flow, you can read air that goes past a point, and it goes through the engine and isn't used for combustion. So if this just has a lot of overlap flow, then I can see them pulling down the MAF calibration based on that overlap flow to say, you're not using that much air. You're not getting that much air in the combustion. That's not what we need for fuel. All right, so right now we are at 32 grams. We're up here, and we're lean. Do a log again. Start to full throttle. Do it again. Those are faster sweeps there. I hit the rev limit on one of those. This thing's so quiet. It's so quiet. So in the 30s now, I'm lean 10. Up top looks like I'm lean 6. I did it again. Where you go? Right here. Yeah, lean 6. Sweet. And now I'm rich at idle. Whatever, Subaru. Whatever. So I'm just going to add 5% because I'm clearly not getting as much as I think I am. Here, I'm going to add 5% there too. Like that. And I'm going to take away that. Okay. Save this. Disconnect. Oh, that was smoother. Maybe they. Okay, that's faster too. Maybe the new software got some bugs worked out of it. That'd be great. I'd be really happy with that. So that stuff happened a lot quicker. Usually you hit give that input and it just sits there and you're like, come on, let's go, and then does it. That was quick. That disconnected quickly, it closed the menu quickly, everything went quick. So okay, I like that. Hey Connor, long time. It's been a long time since I've seen you. Same for Mud Skipper. I haven't seen you in a while either. How you doing? Hope you guys are both doing well. All right. I think after this, I'm going to do a poll. I think that this calibration is probably going to be close enough. Find out. I don't see my mouse though. There it is. All vision. Let's do it. Oh, I gotta set the tack though first. Gotta go speed, set it 60. You guys can't see that part, can you? No, you can't see the menu. I got it cut off so you can zoom in on the screen and so you don't see the customer's names and license plate numbers and stuff. I will say though that this thing flashes fast. It's flashing faster than I'm clicking the buttons. And I gotta pee again. Holy moly! That's what I get for having half a cup of coffee and 2 waters. I'm hungry. What time is it? Oh wow! It's already 1. I've had a couple of Ritz crackers today, and the water and those bottles of water. And that's it. I should have had this element. So I should have had that in a bottle of water. That'll help me retain water, not pee so much. Off. Okay, off it is. Yep, I'll replace that. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna key on. Let the ECU sit here for a while, and see if I still get the long crank. Nope. So just like the old EJs. I dig that this thing's got a boost gauge in the middle of the dash. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's lean. It's not happy. I feel it. On startup here, it's lean. It's an open loop. It needs more fuel. I pulled too much out of idle. Yeah. Oh yeah, she's leaning his balls right there. So I pulled too much out at idle. How did I click this button here? Where is it? I think I did that much, but apparently I did. Because now it says 2.6. And that's not correct. It should be like 3.3 and change. So that's up here. Alright, fix that. Okay. That'll be good next flash. Let's see how we are everywhere else, though. Pretty good there. 2%, 3%, 2%, like that. Okay, that's looking good. Let's set this tach on this thing. It's like 29.50. It's loaded here at 60. T 2950 tab. Okay. All right. I think that's good enough to do a pull. Let's see where she goes. Well, that didn't make sense. That didn't match at all. That tag not work right? It says 29.50. What the fuck? All right, let's try this again. Maybe I saw something wrong. But man, that's good power. I told you, these things like respond really well. Okay, 60 miles an hour. Oh, I was in the wrong gear. That's why. All right, that's 30. Oh, I was looking at fuel oil pressure. 35.70. This thing is so quiet with the windows up. That's funny. All right, let's get rid of that. I'm sure one of you saw that and didn't say anything. Let's see. Connor says, doing well left is too busy. Front of this building. Tutorial with a 3S GT 100 link you plug. I don't know if it's plug and play, but it's really damn good. So I would absolutely do that. Do a link on that in a heartbeat. I wouldn't hesitate for a second on that. What is going on here? Why is it holding so long? Set this to 2. Bring this down to 45. Hit OK on that. I'll try it again because that was too high of an RPM. Yeah, I'd say it does good. Yeah, that's a bit of a difference. I wish I did the stock pull on this one. I didn't do stock pull on this one, but I have a stock pull from Chase's car. It was not good. I wish this thing's redlined higher than 62. That's just crazy. I don't understand it, honestly. Like the BRZ FA24, that thing goes to 7,500 or something like that. It's like a 75 or 7,700 RPM rev limit on the FA24 and the BRZ, and this one is 62. Like, what the fuck? Why does the BRZ always get the good FA? You know, the FA and the WRX blows every time compared to the one in the BRZ. That is impressive, though. Look at that. Let's bring up a stock one. We did a bone stock pull on Chase's WRX. So I'll have those bone stock. Let's see. We'll do this, and then hello, Don speaking. Hi. 9/28/77. Eosinophils? Wow, that is phenomenally good news. That is phenomenally good news. At the VA, Robert Netchez is the one that is my GI doc over there. NETJEZ. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Crying on a live stream was not on my bingo card for the day. Um, that was really good news, and I didn't realize how much I needed to hear that. I didn't realize how much I was being affected by that emotionally. But I have this relatively um, rare disease or condition, and it most likely stems from vaccine injury. Not to be, a fucking anti-vax or anything, but people do get injured by them. And mine was a condition that almost every time results in esophagus cancer. That's that's a shitty way to go. And so I've been on this medication that was only just very, very recently authorized for treatment for this condition. And seeing as how I have been injured by vaccinations and big pharma and stuff in the past. I'm obviously very skeptical as to whether or not it's going to work. And it's like it's it's $4,000 an injection, and I have to do it every week. Um, Luckily, that's not my cost. That's not what I pay for it, um, because I would be bankrupt in no time. Uh, but things have been a little difficult, and I wasn't certain if I was getting um, better. It's plain and simple. I wasn't sure if I was getting better. I noticed a slight reduction in some of my symptoms, but there's already so much damage in my esophagus from what happened that I didn't. It's never going to go back to normal. Um, so I had no way of knowing if I was making progress on it or not until this last procedure. They went in and did a biopsy, and they checked the tissue in my esophagus for the eosinophils, which is um, the more eosinophils in there, basically the more my body is attacking my own esophagus, which is what the problem has been. And if your body keeps attacking something that's trying to replicate and heal itself at the same time, eventually cancer comes out of it. And it's like I said, it's near 100% of people that have it that end up getting esophagus cancer. So it's such a bad thing to get that when I told one of the doctors I had it, he went, "Oh," and he like put his hand on my shoulder. He was just like, "I'm sorry," and like he knew, right? He knows what becomes of that. He's a GI doc, right? And when a doctor looks at you and says that before you even have it, it apparently it affected more than I thought it did. But so I'm on this new medication, and so they just called and told me that um, what used to be 40, the levels of eosinophils used to be 40 something, and to get treated you had to be greater than 15, and that was way over that. But they said on this last biopsy, detectable was less than 1. And it's been shit, I don't know, 8 years, and it's been in that 30, 40 range for 8 fucking years. And I just started this medication like 9 months ago, and it's got some side effects, but if not dying from esophagus cancer is one of them, then I'll take it. Yeah, sorry, it's not it's not what I wanted to do on camera today. I'm not gonna bitch out and stop streaming because I'm upset, or happy. I'm really happy, just so relieved. Fuck. 299 wheel, man, I'm so emotional. I did so good on this tune. I just, when I nail it with my bass maps, it hits me hard. I just so thankful that I was able to crank out 295 wheel on this tune here. Ooh, man, I love tuning so much. You don't understand how much I love tuning. So, anyways, yeah, when you when that stuff is eating at you, whether you realize it or not, um, sometimes it's hard to enjoy things. And I know in the last couple of years, I have felt a lot less enjoyment in a lot of stuff. And I know that it was bugging me a little bit, but I didn't know how much. Is it is it enough that I'll feel a little more carefree and be able to enjoy some stuff again? I fucking hope so, because I have not been having as much fun lately as I feel like I should have been having. So, yeah. Fuck, I need a nap. I only slept like 5 hours last night, maybe 5 hours, and only like 4 or 5 the night before. The last couple nights been rough. I haven't been able to sleep very well, and it doesn't help I've gone to bed late. But no, I went to bed late last night. Night before me early. I went to bed like 9 night before last, and I still slept like absolutely horribly. Um, I guess waiting on these results. I don't know. I'll let you know tonight. You know, I'll let you know tomorrow if I slept good tonight or not. If I was waiting on these results, but yeah, it's like I might not die of esophagus cancer. Yeah, getting old sucks. Your mortality definitely. It's definitely like in your face more. You can't see it though because your eyes go bad, but it's there more. It's a blurry mortality, but it's it's like right here instead of being feeling so far off in the distance. Uh, I got my cheaters on to see it. Um, all right. Well, holy fuck, what a gain in torque that is, huh? I should probably text my wife. Let me text her real quick. I'm not gonna call her on camera because I'll probably start bawling on camera again, and it'd be really hard to even hear me talk. So, um, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Eosinophils. Why can't I spell it right? Eosino. That's the letter. Eosin. Eosin. Eosinophils. There we go. I got it. What a fucking relief. I guess I need to buy everybody lunch. Alright. Alright, let's fix this idle. Let's review these logs, fix this idle, and see how the boost is, see if it's good. I know I saw one feedback knock when I was doing a tip-in event earlier, right at the beginning of the poll. But during the poll, it looks pretty clean. Not seeing anything during the poll. That wasn't the poll, that was the start of the other one. Accelerate some. Alright, here's the other poll. Okay, so yeah, I could pull a smidge out around 8 pounds, which is giving me at 8 pounds, we're looking at calculated load of around around 1. So around the 1 mark, we pull about a degree or so out of it. That'll help. Let me check the fuel there. The fuel in that region is mid 13, so it actually needs a little more fuel. Sorry, guys. God damn it. Looks like it actually needs a smidge more fuel in that 8 psi range that we're getting. That's weird. 8 pounds and let's look at that. I'm gonna double check that again. Relative pressure, 8 pounds, and our load is only 1.0. It doesn't make sense. It's adding a little bit of fuel in the trim, not much, but the target's not very rich either. Oh no, yeah, target's 13.5. So I gotta add a little bit of fuel in that 8 pounder. I'm actually gonna add fuel instead of pulling time. I'm gonna add some fuel. It's 8 pounds of boost, 13.5. I mean, it is direct injected, and they're more tolerant of the heat associated with combustion and stuff, but it's still an FA, so I don't want to do that. So I'm going to add a smidge of fuel in that region. That should probably knock down or get rid of that feedback altogether. And then I'm going to, I already adjusted the idle. So when I flash that, this learning trim we're seeing right now, the idle should go away. Yeah, we'll tack those first, and then we'll continue on. Yeah. Okay, so I did the idle already. Now I want to look at my closed loop fuel table. I want to add some fuel to that. It just needs a smidge more. Something's weird about that. Something's just not sitting right. How is my calculated load at 8 pounds of 1? That should be a 2.
What do you want from the next place?
I forgot.
I'm getting a fajita burrito.
Is that what I had last time?
Yeah, there's no cheese or anything like that.
Yeah, the new cheese fajita burrito. It was really good. Steak for me.
Steak for you. That's what I was going to do. That makes it easy.
Yeah. Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Something right there. It doesn't make sense. £8 should be like a 2.0 load, not a fucking 1.0 load. Let's see. Let's see what my load is doing. Let's do another poll. Yeah, see where you're 1.7 right there. I must be reading the wrong part of the log. that obviously wasn't a full pull. I just wanted to see what was going on. Obviously, it wasn't. That was looking the wrong part of the log, or it was the wrong log, or something. That was weird. All right, so I'm gonna. I gotta piss again. Hold on a minute. I'm sorry, guys. I'll be back in a minute. I can take. I will do that, and I'm back, and we'll take apart this log when I'm a little more focused and less distracted by the news I just got. So, oh, boy, oh boy. Okay. All right, I gotta reopen that last log. I guess I've been on two medications. Yeah. All right. It's cold out there. I mean, it's 60 something. It feels cold as shit. Because I've been so used to not 60. But it's hot in here. Turn this down. Oh, at least that's tactile still. At least Subaru's got actual buttons for the climate control, not just like a touch screen for that. That's cool. This is that. I don't hate this car. To be honest with you guys, I don't hate the VAB or VB or whatever they call them, the second gen or third gen, whatever generation this is. I don't hate it. I like it. I like the styling inside. I don't like the plastic is more tactile than the GR. I hate the GR interior. I don't think there's a worse built car than the GR. I fucking hate the GR so much. But the dash has got some softness to it, a little rubber action on here, less hardness. The engine makes a butt whack of fucking torque. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. What I add, 130 foot-pounds or something with that? What is this? So here's stock, 170, 270, 30, fuck more than that. No, 170 foot-pounds. Is that right? Am I doing good math there? 150 is 300. So 150. There we go. Yeah, so that's a lot of grunt this thing did not have before. Um, yeah, sweet. Okay. Open that log. See if there's any comments that I need to address in here. There isn't. Okay, thanks. All right. Is anybody still here? Or am I talking to myself? Sometimes I find I'm talking to myself. You know, dudes start crying and people start logging off. It happens. I get it. All right. So, the load. Let's look at that log again. Go to my logger and open that up. View data log viewer. Open my data log. I think it was the last one I took, right? No, there's one being took right now, so it's not that one. It's this one. Turn off this log. Those still taking on, I forgot. Okay, let's see if I can make this come up for you guys. I don't know if I can or not. I think I can. Cobb logger. Here we go. And that. Okay, and let's bring this to the top for you. All right, let's go back to this log now. All right, learning, you see, is pretty close. We'll look at the air fuel along the left side here. We're going to check it out. 3% there, and 3% through here. You see the air fuel ratio is 11 something, so we know that we're in boost. Accelerator pedal position, you see on the right there, 100%. So that's 11. Now this log was actually 2 poles. It was a partial pole and then a full pole, if I recall it correctly. Yeah, there we go. So now with this full pole as well, I got total trim of 5. Total trim of 5. So I could add a smidge to the MAF cal up there. Looks like about 3 to 5% at these higher rates. Oh, here's almost 0 though. Okay, so I got a couple percent. I don't really have to though because this is well within the capability of the ECU to cover, right? 2 to 5%. The ECU can totally handle that. But you know, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit there. So that's cool. Now let's look at this load here. Let's do this calculated load. How did I screw that up? See, calculated load is it must not be reading right or something. Let's see. Let's go back to the poll. There we go. Okay, so here's that. Let's go right here. Engine speed 17. And full pressure 0. Okay, that should be around 1. What's that? 8 to 9. All right. Let's get this 8 pounds of boost time right here. There's 8 pounds of boost. Load is 2. Hey, that's what it should be. That was weird. I could have swore I saw a 1.0 load and 8 pounds of boost before. But 2 is where it should be. Look at that. 2. Okay, so that's good news. That's where it should be. That's good. So at that 2 mark, I'm gonna. What is our commanded fuel right there? Commanded fuel is still 13.7 though. I don't like that. I'm gonna add some fuel there. I want more fuel in that region. 2.0 load, 8 pounds of boost. It should have more than 13.5. That's at least my opinion. Now the question is because it's based on RPM in this case? Looks like it is. On this map, oh you guys can't see this map. That area is a little lean. Now, different engines like to be lean in some spots. They don't like to be rich. I could add fuel here and it could piss it off. But I'm gonna do it anyways and see. 2 load, 14, 6. Yeah, that seems lean to me. I'm gonna go for a 12.7. That's kind of where I want to be. It looks like all these fuel maps are about the same, with it being really lean at 2.0 load. I don't know. I'm gonna add fuel to them, and we'll see. And maybe they don't like it. They can't see it not liking it, but maybe it won't. If it doesn't, then I'll fix it. I'll throw more fuel at it. But my gut tells me it wants more fuel right there. That one's rich as balls. Man, I cannot tell you the difference in how I feel right now. That is really something. Been dealing with a lot of loss this last year. I think I said that in a previous stream. A lot of stuff happening. A lot of places where I grew up or did a bunch of growing up burning down. Areas where I've lived getting burned down, like just regions. Um, my cat dying. Um, I love that fucking cat. She was great. And a lot of stuff in the last year has just been really hard. And I guess that has been piling on. And, you just, I was in the Navy, right? I spent 6 months at a time or more on submarines. And it's fucking miserable. Like, being on the sub is not a good time, and in the job that I had, it's not a good time. And, there are some better jobs for sure on the sub, but you work a lot. And it is, it's, it's just it's rough, and you get to a point where that's all you do is just put your head down and push. You swallow all the misery and you just push and push and push, and you you just bury it. It really boils down to. And that's what most guys do anyways with stuff, right? We've always been trained to just bury it. And sometimes though, it's just not the right answer. It's not the right answer. And but that's what we do. And then something happens, and you realize that that's what's been going on, like this whole deal, and how much it's been burying and eating after you didn't realize it. You haven't been talking to anybody about it because none of your friends want to hear you say, "Hey, I'm probably gonna die of esophagus cancer. It's bugging me, and I want to talk about it." Right? Like, I don't want to bug my wife with that. Like, she's got enough stuff on her plate, and then I'm talking about, all these issues I'm having and how the biopsies before were not good and everything too. Because it wasn't like I just had EOE and the doctor's, "Oh, that sucks." It's like I had it and I had it bad. Like my levels were very high. So, yeah. And I feel a huge, huge, huge level of relief right now. And I wish that I hadn't been forced to bury it as much as I had. So, hey, thanks, Dakota. Thank you for the congratulations and the hearts there. I didn't see that earlier. Apologies. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Sorry to burden you guys with my emotional fucking load. It wasn't expected. So sorry. Uh, but on the bright side, the Scar Run's great. The Scar Run's good. That's some shit. I did another one of these, and so I started with that map. Did a couple changes because that one was a 22, but it was a really good result, and so I started with that one on this as the base map. And then obviously, if you were here for that, you saw we worked through the map scale some, made some quick changes, got it really close. Like it's really darn close. I'm pretty happy with that. La 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 la. Wait for the scene to finish the flash. I'm starving. I'm hungry. I am a hungry monkey right now. Tell you. You guys ever watch that Shogun series? I'm watching that. I'm in the first season. I think I'm in episode 5 or 6. I dig it. I dig it. It's obviously more of a drama in a lot of ways, and stuff. I still enjoy it. There's support for more. Support for more. I just want for a few more montages, honestly. No, there's been some things though that are confusing in the timeline. It feels like they show something like as if it's been months, and then they're like, "Oh, it's been 16 days." And you're like, "Wait, what?" Like, so there's a little bit of that happens in there that I find a little bit confusing, but I'm always surprised by, "Oh, it's only been that long," things like that. But I do like it. I've been enjoying it. Also watching The Old Man. Have you seen that one? Jeff Bridges is like an old CIA guy. That's pretty decent. Even though I find Jeff Bridges kind of annoying the way he talks. Okay, looks like I need a smidge more to idle. It sounded a little lean when I fired it up still, so it looks like I need a tiny bit more MAF cal down low. Whoopsie. We're at 3.2 now, so that's closer. It's closer to where it needs to be. And then what's going on here? Why is that going down? I should get it down, right? Smidge more idle there. That should help. See how that area is in the middle range. See if we got a little more fuel on it. See if I lost a ton of torque or if I was able to stop that timing pull from happening. That's a lot richer that time. Like that. That was successful. Happier. Grab this last one. Look at that. What a beautiful power curve. Not so much torque. I wish it was a little less torque, a little more horsepower. That'd be even nicer. A little flatter torque curve would be better, but I mean, it's still a weird geometry FA. That looks way better. Look at that. Got picked up some power even. Carries nicely. It's good. All right, let's see if my log popping up on the screen here. This is the same one I'm looking at. Pull it over. This world is a tough place for man. We don't get any parade sport appreciation. We should certainly great in the videos. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you as well. It's true. It's true that right now this whole toxic masculinity thing and that much other stuff, and really it's been going a lot longer than that. But that's just one of the things that's making it worse, making it less of a habitable place for penis-born humans. Let's see. That correction looks pretty good. We got a 6 in there and a 7 right there as the fuel's coming in. Right there. Let's do that. Check that spot though. Let's look at that same spot. It's around 3,000-ish and 2.0 load, right? And speed right there. Calculate load. Where's 2 at? Oh, it's a 3 already. It came in hard. Right here, 2.0. All right, I got close target 12.5, which is what I put in there. Pressure is 6 at this time. So here's our 8 right there. There's no feedback knock this time. It liked it. 12.5 is the commanded. And our fuel that we got out of it was indeed 12.3 or 12.5. So it liked it. It definitely liked getting more fuel right there. No knock. Torque is even smoother up there, if not just bigger overall. The whole curve looks smoother when it's not pulling timing. And yeah, I'd say that's a lot happier. Okay, now let's look at our booster and wastegate duty cycle. If we got any more to play with on here, wastegate position. I say duty cycles, that's a hangover. So the wastegate is pretty open through that region there, right here. 3940. It could be more shut, really. Oh yeah, my dyno's not going to do anything either for weather. Nice. Nice, that's good. I put that temp probe in there to give it actual air temp going in the engine to add another 10 horsepower to it. Just by the way the dyno correction works. With weather and shit. Yeah, that's really good. 15 pounds, 16 pounds, 17 pounds right here at the top end of it. $18 through here, 18 through there, through peak. So we'd expect that. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. This guy's gonna shit his pants first time he gets on it. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" The amount of torque picked up on this thing, he's just gonna be blown away. I kind of want to put a camera in the car and record him driving it for the first time and just watch his eyeballs bug out. My boost target is 16 at redline, and we're just a little bit below that. Okay, let's check my wastegate initial position up there is at 4, basically 456 and 3.4. So we're shutting her down a little bit right on the top end to try and maintain. But the log, you didn't have to do that. The initial position is asking it to shut down, but we didn't have to shut it to maintain pressure up here. We could add a little boost to it, I think, guys. Yeah, engine speed 61, wastegate position. Right before it was 4.4. So really, it was opening. It wasn't even. Yeah, it was working on reducing boost a little bit to keep it at target. So I think we can. Oh, just before that though, look at the spot right here. It's right here. We're a pound under target, and you see it shutting the gate a little bit, and then the target must just drop right as I'm getting off the top. We're at 15 here, so yeah, it might not. It might not do much more. That's right at 6,000. So maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. But it definitely was more open than the map has it open. So really what I could do is shut it a smidge before then, and that'll push the boost up a little bit. So if you look at it where this error starts, right about here-ish, it goes towards open more, comes from more open, and shuts a little slow. So I want to, if I command it to shut a little slower, or give it a lower initial point there, that should help. Let's see, where's my boost go? I missed it. 15.5 at what RPM is this? 59. So again, we're right here at red line. So this is all happening right at red line, 59 to 6. That's just a really high sample rate. So at the very end, they went zoop on it. So that's not really very informative. Let's go back a little bit. But right here, the gate's really open. So yeah, I'm gonna raise the target up. I'm gonna shut the gate a smidge. I'm gonna give it an initial, a little smaller initial, and then yeah, a little smaller initial, and raise the target a little bit, and see if that gets us a little more boost up top, and see how she likes it. Because I don't want to raise the boost down low. It's already got plenty of freaking torque down there. Ideally, I'd like to flatten this torque band out a little bit. Right here. Yeah, I like to flatten the torque band a smidge. That's it. That's all I'm going to do right there. Those two changes, combined with that math change. I got to change the name of this map too, because it's not 16 psi anymore. It's now 18. Come on. Now the export's starting to get buggy. Right on cue. All right. So this guy. That's good. With these WRXs that aren't using the EJ and have turbo mounts low, can they run V-band turbos like a Garrett more easily without being a rotated kit? No. No, they can't. The space is very limited down there. Yeah, the space is very limited. Honestly, the space is so limited. I think that these would do better with two smaller turbos than one bigger one. Honestly, I feel like there's more space for two smaller turbos than one big one because it's just so fucking limited down there. Maybe that's something I need to do. Maybe I need to do a twin turbo on an FA down there and see if I can make it work. That might be kind of fun. Um, those club turbos that I was bitching about earlier, having too much boost on my Talon. It's a 250 horsepower turbo, and I'm getting a ton of boost by like 3,000 RPM on a 1 liter machine. So you can imagine that I put it on something like this with one like 2 to 300s. I got 600 horsepower turbo on there, and it's probably spooled really really fast. Um, I mean, guys do have rotating kits for them. They do make them, but they do suffer from two major things: poor oil drainage. It's hard to get the oil out of them when they're down there. The sump, you gotta make a sump that works right. The sumps are actually harder to make work correctly than you would think. So the oil sump's got to work right. You lose ground clearance because you push the center section of the turbo down because you got a bigger housing. Now the sump is closer to the ground. You start pushing everything down, and it's just not. It becomes difficult and problematic. Um, and then you're ramming your turbo off of curbs and shit on accident, things like that. So it isn't very conducive to a bigger turbo down there. No. But kits do exist. Like I said, kits exist for them. Are they good solutions? In my opinion, no, they're not. But you know, I'll be right back. I heard Chase pull up with his car, do its thing. We'll start it first, actually, and then let it get into closed loop and let all this stuff normalize. I'll be right back. Add the fuel. Yep. Yeah, Chase just came back with lunch. So I think we're almost done, anyways. We'll see if this boost worked, and see if it holds more boost or not. Let's get online. I'm gonna turn this off again and restart it. See how it. I turned it off too soon before it connected. I want to see if it's clean again and start it. It was a little rumbly initially, so like right there, it's a little rumbly right there. I wish I could catch the start better. Ugh, Cobb software. It's just so bad. Like, why can't I stay connected? For at least a few seconds. Like, why can't you? And now it's just locked up. This is great. This is wonderful. Oh, they're locked up. I'm good. Now I don't want to disconnect. I want this. All right, right there. What is that? There's a little hesitation right there. I might need to change the VEs a bit through this idle region. Let's see. I think I need to add some VE right here. I think that's where I need to add it. That. All right, let's see what happens, guys. Will it take boost? I targeted another pound. Really? That resets every time? I targeted another pound up top, but it's an FA. It may just say no. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good. Access tuner has stopped working. The error report. Wow, they have made it better. I mean, error detecting email clients. No information sent. Okay, cool. Nice. So they almost made it better. Oh, wow, they almost made it better. All right, let's reopen this. I just want to eat my lunch. I just want to eat my lunch. Let's see if this thing wakes up. Let's do it. So the question is, do I gotta keep taking this fucking $4,000 a week medication for the rest of my life? I think that's a good question that I should be asking somebody. Am I healed or is it just suppressed? Do I stop taking it, or do I take it less frequently, or do I keep doing the same amount? Like, how long do I gotta spend money on this shit? Probably the rest of my life, honestly. I've been doing allergy shots and Dupixent. Two things that basically take your immune system and say, hey, stop being so mean to everything. Look at that air fuel ratio. 1%. Yeah, we're good. Air fuel correction, not ratio correction. It's good in that range. There it was. Okay. Does it hold it? Did it hold it? A little fatter to the mid range, lower than that initial seemed to matter, but on the top end, it looks like it didn't stay up there any more than I need to get rid of this logger. You guys can't see it. It's a big surprise right now, isn't it? Where's my logger at? There. There we go. All right, let's look at this together here. So at the very, very top, no. Right up here, nothing. But let's get rid of this part so I can see it. Ugh, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Grab these two again. Hit that guy. There we go. So on the very, very, very top, it didn't get us anything. But right before that, look at that. So it's the same here at the beginning of the poll. And it opens up this whole section here. Okay, I dig that. Let's see what the log shows us. Where'd the log go? There it is. Let me bring it up for you guys. Did the log show us an increase in airflow too? Or is it just a temperature thing, or what? Like, is this actual gain? Let's take a peek. Let's go over here. A little bit. Just a little bit. Really. Just a tiny bit. Not much airflow gain. Just a little bit. A couple horsepower gained. I mean, that's all we gained was a couple horsepower, right? So that matches. Let's do another poll. Let's do another poll. Kind of back them up back to back. See how they respond. See if it's consistent or not. I watched that feedback knock. I wasn't watching that. I was looking at the dynagraph before. There is a learn event there. I saw a find out learn there up top. So it learned something. Maybe you didn't like. I need to tweak that. Yeah, there's that learn event. Drop the timing right here. Lower the power. Look at that. Whoa, look at that. Oh, you can't look at that because I have this in the way again. There we go. Look at that. So let's pick up some more Paco Bowles. What's up, man? Welcome to the stream today. I'm almost done with this car. I'm about to be hitting the lunch action here, but I just was doing a couple back-to-back pulls here, heating it up, see how the turbo responds. It liked it down low. You can see that down low, the boost really came in harder and earlier a little bit. The power went up right there, and then it was doing good, and then it pulled some timing. So my guess is intake air temp probably went a little high right there. We'll check that log and see if it's intake air temp um, or what. Let's see. There we go. Or fuel or whatever. So let's go there first. Let's go to the top end of the log right here. Where are we at? Air-fuel ratio is rich. I mean, we're in the 10s, right? Look at that. 10.5, 10.5, 10.5. So this thing's rich as balls. So I can't throw more fuel at it. Like, it's just not going to, that's not going to cool it, right? More fuel's not going to cool it. Our air temp, 90, 91. Well, that's great. So it ain't bad. How does it go after the pull? Because really, it's technically hotter than that, right? Those sensors are kind of slow. Oh, it doesn't go up. Look at that. Okay. So this knock occurs where? Right here. All right, 17 pounds at 5,300. See, that's a lot higher, right? Like I raised that up right there. That spot was like 16 and change or 15 and change before. So that is me asking a little more of it right there. And if we look at our wastegate position, 4.2, that still ain't bad. It's not bad. I mean, the commanded on the map is 3.4 right there. So that must be the heat because it was two pulls back to back. That heat really gave us, um, that heat really keeps the exhaust at its maximum voluminous amount, right? It stays hot. The header's hot. It's not hitting a cold header and sucking down. It's hot from previous pull. It goes in, it stays hot, and so the volume hits the turbo at full heat. The exhaust is at a full volume, full heat. So that that gives us some of that. Timing is only 7 right there. That's not bad at all, really. But I mean, we could pull a degree out right there. Yeah, 5,300, 7 degrees at a calculated load of pass it up 265. I can also tweak the intake cam a smidge. 265 ignition primary TGV open 265 53 right there. Half degree out right here and another half right there. That should do it right there. That's idle. Okay, cool. Why does the idle have a full map? Crazy. How about this guy? Alright, save. Let me check my air fuels idle again, see how we got there. Trim idle. Nothing, it's not reading. God damn the software. Try it again. There we go. That time it read. 2.7. Alright, good. Like that. Okay, we'll disconnect from ECU and we'll flash this change with the smidge less timing up top. And then I'm gonna call it quits for the stream. I'm gonna flash this and go get my lunch. I am starving. It's 2 o'clock and I haven't had anything but a little bit of Ritz crackers. That's it. So let me put up the stock map dyno sheet on here. I hate that it beeps on my laptop like that. Okay, that's that last one. There's that time pole we're trying to get rid of. Okay, now the stock one, I gotta do this. Yeah, get closer. You can't see it. Oh, there, on top. I'm done. Come on now. Look at that. That is really something. Boy, these FA24s, they're pretty sweet. That is stock unmodified right there. That green. Completely stock unmodified 24. As it arrived from Subaru. Versus this one with an intake, intercooler, charge pipe, I think that's it. And a tune. It's crazy. This owner's gonna be really happy. So I have to drop that boost a smidge of top. If this timing pole doesn't get rid of that knock, I'll just take that boost back out of it a little bit. Because like I said, it's 10.3. I can't add more fuel to cool it off. It's got all the fuel it's gonna get. So yeah, man, it's what a freaking difference. That is pretty crazy. All right, guys. I think that's it. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm going to stream today on this. I got some other work to do, and I got some food to eat. I got a Honda to work on at home, and a few more things to do as well. So I'm going to peace out. But I appreciate you stopping by and coming to see me today. Apologize for the emotional bit earlier, but thank you for your support. And I hope that you all have a great weekend. I don't think I'll be tuning tomorrow, so have a good weekend. I will see you guys around. Again, thank you very much. I appreciate you all and everything you guys do for me. Is it's more than you guys probably realize. So thank you very much. Have a good